Hello. My name is Ibrahim Oyetola. You're welcome to batch 45 of MMM Nigeria's guided school, and I'm simply here to demystify the meaning of MMM, what MMM is all about, the idea of MMM, how MMM works, the rules of MMM, benefits of MMM. Without wasting time, let me swing into action. MMM is simply a global community of a social network that connects the provider of help with the giver of help. It is done in such a way that all funds are transferred into beneficiaries' accounts directly. This is a system without a centralized account. It is a system that has actually come to stay and has done everything possible to perfect any theft or any criminal act, which is actually some of the reason we are in existence. Now to the next one, like I said earlier, I wouldn't like to waste so much time on it. Let me swing into the ideology of MMM. Briefly, MMM is a global community of financial aid and donation exchange. Like I mentioned earlier, MMM basically is in existence to bring to an end the financial injustice and slavery in the world. The belief system must be replaced with the mentality that money will no longer be an issue of concern. Issue of concern in the sense that there are so many cases or so many times you actually want to execute projects. Probably you want to build a house, you want to set up a business, you want to buy a car, or you have some very good and important things you want to do with money. But for the sake of, or for the mere fact that you don't have funds with you, you are not able to carry out such a project. And these are some of the things why MMM has come to put a stop to. Still part of the ideology, MMM developed a platform where people will not have to approach banks before they can execute projects. You would agree with me that in most cases, when we approach banks that we actually need a loan or we actually want to get funds from them to carry out one or two projects, they likely will tell you to go and bring collaterals of things they know well that you probably cannot provide, or things that when you provide them and you fault in paying back, they can actually sell back to get their money replaced. MMM is basically structured as a technical program where millions of participants worldwide find themselves, they actually find themselves to help. And for those that are ready to provide, the system, there is a software that pairs those that are ready to provide with the system provides, the software actually provides or merges or synergizes those that actually want to provide help with those that are interested in getting help with interest at the end of the day. Let me just explain a little bit. What this is trying to say is that MMM is technically designed in such a way that we have softwares and some applications that does most of the work. We have a software called Dispatcher. It synergizes the receiver and the giver of help together. It locates who wants to give help with who wants to get help, and they are synergized. Their details are synergized, are exchanged, and at the end of the day, the provider of help is able to provide help and the receiver of help is able to get help. In most cases, I say to people everywhere I go or anywhere I talk about MMM that MMM is fantastically fabulous. You will agree with me on that. How MMM works. If you want to be a part of this community, the first thing to be done is to simply register with MMM for free. Voluntary donation is then expected from them, and there is no guarantee on the money contributed. We have to ensure we emphasize this. We emphasize this to our downlines or to our intending downlines, to ensure we let them know not to stick our head, not to stick our names, our well-being because of referral bonuses. We have to let them know that MMM doesn't guarantee anybody's money back. Meanwhile, it is expected that you provide your email address, your phone number, and bank details. This is to process, or this is to make processing on requisitions easier for everyone. When you are ready to donate money, you indicate by clicking on providing help, which is the provide help button. Then you state the amount you're willing to provide help with, starting with 2,000 naira, to 2 million, depending on what the naira is saying at that time. Now, when is it time for you to get help? Or when is actually time? When it is time for you to get help, which is GH, click on the GH orange box with the word GH, then follow instruction, and you simply get matched with the participants that will pay you to. It's that simple. Just like if you want to provide help, you click on the green button that has provide help on it, and it brings up boxes for you. You follow instructions, and it's that simple. At the end of the day, you get to provide help. And if you want to get help, click on the orange button that has get help on it, and at the end of the day, you get help. You can see MMM is sweet, MMM is interesting, MMM is fabulous. Now, straight to the rules of MMM. The actions and inactions of participants determine the growth of the community. This simply says what we fail to do and some things that we do, probably we do well or we don't do well, to a large extent determines what we get out of the community, or determines the growth we would eventually have in communities. It is important for members to invite more participants, as a community is open to all people regardless of background, income, and status. Truly, most times when we are introduced to MMM, we probably might be told we really don't have to bring someone in and all of that. But the true ideology, the true rule for the community to spring and to grow and to get fabulous bonuses is to tell someone, or even when people see the glory, they just see strange and sudden glory in you, they probably might come to you and ask you, how are you doing it? How are you making it? Break it down for them, the ideology, the rule, how it works, what MMM is all about. And in turn, you get rewarded. Now, 2, members of the community are advised to bring people of positive minds such that will extend their happiness to others. It is expected that will bring people with like minds, positive-minded people. You are advised to be very careful and make conscious advices and decisions that are well structured. Now 3. Always bear in mind that MMM is a community of mutual help and not a way to make money. 4. Members are also advised to provide help and get help continuously, consecutively, and consistently. 5. Participants are to donate their spare money and not all of their money, as it is better to help with a little amount of money based on sincerity of heart. Benefits of MMM. For every provision of help, you get the below illustration as benefits. All participants get additional 30% marvel of their donation as rewards of their provision of help after 30 days. That is 1% growth every day in their personal office. That's the PO, acronym PO, personal office. This is made possible by clicking on the Get Help button. I want to believe we understand this. I have explained this earlier. If you want to give help, you make use of the PH, which is provide help, through your PO, which is personal office. And if you want to get help, you make use of GH, which is get help, through your personal office. 30% reward comes from participants, both old and new, by continuously donating or by continually donating. For every person introduced and registered as a new participant, he or she gets 10% reward off the total amount provided by the new participant. Well, I want to believe with this I have been able to demystify to an extent the true and the basic knowledge of MMM. Thank you once again. My name is Ibrahim Oyetola from MMM Nigeria, batch 45. Thank you very much.